Most people don't think too much about dreams, or what they mean. And most people don't even know why dreams happen. It's just something that happens, most people assume. But dreams could have more meaning, as well as people being able to control their dream and force dreams upon themselves. Today we will be talking to a few ordinary people, seeing what they think about dreams. We will be asking them questions about dreams, and if dreams mean anything to them.
Do you believe dreams have meaning?
Yeah, I do sometimes.
Right.
Not always.
What do you think causes dreams?
I think sometimes you have certain dreams when, if you watch a certain movie, and then you just go to bed after you watch it, and then you get certain dreams about the movie.
Do you think your life affects how your dreams go?
I don't think so.
No?
No.
What do dreams mean to you?
I don't know, it depends. If they're scary, then it means... I don't really know. I don't know.
Do dreams affect what you do in your everyday life?
No, not to me.
No. Are there any dreams that stick out to you, really?
Yeah, there was one about a little girl that was just standing on my bed, but she was dead. Very creepy. I remember that one. Yeah.
The staff at Psych Central did some research and found out that we spend a typical night dreaming for 2 or more hours, but they couldn't find out how or why we dream. But we have found out that almost all our dreams occur during REM sleep, REM meaning rapid eye movement. Most mammals and birds seem to also go through REM sleep, which means your cat could even have dreams. Reptiles and other cold-blooded animals, they don't have REM sleep.
It all begins with signals from areas of the base of the brain called pons. Then these signals get sent to the region of the brain called the thalamus, which relays them to the cerebral cortex, which is the outer layer of the brain that is responsible for learning, thinking, and organizing information. That is all just the start to REM sleep. Then the pons send signals that will shut down the neurons in the spinal cord, which causes temporary paralysis of the limb muscles. If anything interferes with this paralysis, then it can get very dangerous, because the person will physically act out whatever they are dreaming. It's a rare problem called REM sleep behavior disorder, and can cause the person sleeping to kick at full strength or to swing their arm, which can make this so dangerous.
There's a whole lore about dreaming. In fact, Sigmund Freud wrote a book called The Interpretation of Dreams, which many people think is the foundation of psychoanalysis. Well, scientists now have looked at Freudian psychology and the brain using all these modern techniques. And first of all, we realize that perhaps Sigmund Freud wasn't totally wrong. There are many textbooks which simply dismiss Freudian psychology, calling it nuts. That is nothing but the sexual fantasies of a repressed Venetian scientist of the last century. But now we realize there's more to it. First of all, the unconscious mind. We can actually see the brain in motion. And we realize that much of the activity is totally unconscious, just like what Freud predicted. And Freud also said there is the ego, the id, and the superego, that we are in a constant battle with our desires and our conscious. And we see that now with brain scans. The ego is basically your prefrontal cortex. That is who you are. When you wonder, where am I anyway? Well, you're right there. You are sitting right behind your forehead. And then your desires. We see the pleasure center right there at the center of the brain. That is the libido. We see where the pleasure center is located. And then your conscience is right behind your eyes. The orbital frontal cortex, right behind your eyes, is where your conscious is. And so we actually see that in motion. If you were to see a chocolate cake, you would see these 3 parts of the brain going zippity back and forth like a ping pong ball, because you're constantly debating the pleasure of eating a chocolate cake versus how fat you're going to become and all the sugar and the calories that you don't really need. So we see the beginnings of Freudian psychology coming out of brain scans. And now, dreams. Freud had a whole collection of interpretation of dreams. Scientists have looked at and said, nonsense. Now we understand the physiology of the dreaming process. And we realize that it comes at the back of the brain, a very primitive part of the brain, and that certain parts of the brain are shut off when you dream. First of all, your prefrontal cortex is basically shut off, it's quiet. Your orbital frontal cortex, that is your conscience, is also shut off. But that part of the brain is your fact checker. The part of the brain that said, that's not right, something's wrong, is right behind your eyes. That's shut off. What is active when you dream is your amygdala. And what does your amygdala govern? Fear and emotions. And so right then you know that when you dream, the active part of the brain is not the fact checker, not the rational brain, it's the emotional brain, the fearful brain that is active when you dream. And then there's some superstition called lucid dreaming, where you can actually control the direction of the dream. Well, that superstition last year became science fact. At the Max Planck Institute in Germany, they were able to show once and for all that lucid dreaming is testable, reproducible, it is real. And here's how they did it. They took a person who was about to go to sleep and told them that when you dream, clench your right fist and then clench your left fist. Now, when you dream, you are paralyzed. You cannot move when you dream. Otherwise, we'd be able to carry out all sorts of horrible things and destroy ourselves. So we are paralyzed when we dream. But when this person went into a dream state, you can clearly see that the brain initiated orders to clench your right fist and your left fist. In other words, he was conscious while he was dreaming. There are many Buddhist texts, many texts hundreds of years old, that give you the outlines of how to control dreams, lucid dreaming. We now know that it's not hogwash, that you can actually do this. You can actually direct the course of your dream. And then one day, we may be able to brain scan the brain as you dream and put it on a screen. In which case, somebody will be able to see you dream and know the direction of the dream, and you are conscious of the process. In other words, the movie Inception is not totally hogwash.
So Kyle, what do dreams mean to you?
I honestly think dreams are something that's in your inner thought and what you think about all day, and when you rest, you finally just dream about it.
What do you think causes dreams?
What I think causes dreams is your inner imagination. That little child that you wanted to let out but you never couldn't.
Do you believe that dreams have meaning to them?
I really do. I really believe that if you had a dream that you're stuck in a cage, it would mean like you're holding something on that you're too afraid to let go.
Have you ever had any dreams that really stuck out to you?
I had this one dream that as I said, was stuck in a cage, and I was letting in this really big secret, and then when I finally got it out, I stopped having those dreams, and it finally made sense.
Have you ever realized before that you were dreaming while you were dreaming?
Yes, I have this all the time. I would go to sleep, dream, and realize I was in the dream, and honestly, I think it's either very thrilling and exciting, or can also be very scary, because then you think of the worst things and it could be your worst nightmare.
Have dreams ever affected you for what you do in your day-to-day life?
No, I would say not, but because I like to live my life in any way I see possible.
Has something in your life ever taken into your dream?
I think people's faces, definitely. I would see them a couple times and then they would just be in my dream. So that's pretty cool.
Being able to control your dream isn't something that for most people just happens. It's more of a self-taught skill. But before we talk about how to do that, we need to know more about what it is. Being able to control your own dreams is called lucid dreaming, and it is where you can actually control your dream, but it's a bit more than that. It starts by realizing that you're actually dreaming, but that is hard for most people. One of the ways you can go into lucid dreaming is by realizing that something is off, like you're somewhere very strange, like you made it to the moon or another country, or maybe you're somewhere familiar but something else is weird, like a cat is flying, or anything strange will snap someone into realizing that you're dreaming, which starts the process of controlling your dream.
Many people, after they start going lucid, they try to fly, or going through solid objects. You can control it. You're the creator, and the only limits are the limits that your brain can create. Some of the steps are to start keeping a dream journal. That could lead you to finding out something that will stick out and repeat, like if you see your ex-girlfriend. Then when you awake, you can tell yourself, the next time I see my ex, I will be dreaming. That alone could be something that snaps you into the lucid state. But another thing you could do is start to question whether you are dreaming throughout the day. By making that a part of your daily routine, then you could start doing that in your dream, which will also snap you into the lucid state.